beautiful morning. You're welcome to Women's Corner. My name is Rose Blossom. And of course, it's a Wednesday. Super excited always to be on this program, whereas we give women platforms to get educated, get informed, discussing some very key issues regarding women, of course, and what's trending when it comes to women. We'll try to treat it here. And every aspect that has to do with health, we also bring it here, especially when it comes to our reproductive system, which is one of the main things when it comes to our health that we must protect right from the outside to the inside. You're welcome again to the show. To join us live and to watch the show live, you can go through our YouTube channel at Galaxy TV News, and of course on Facebook and on YouTube. You can actually watch that live. Then also we have other YouTube channels at Galaxy TV Entertainment, Galaxy TV News, yeah, Galaxy TV Vibes, and we have all the red carpet movement from every branch across the country. And we also have our app on Google Play Store and Apple Play Store, where you can download the app and watch every live program on Galaxy TV live from there. So please go download the app and watch this program. Okay, it's good to be here again, and you're welcome. Remember, the program runs from Monday through Friday. We have a Zoom guest today, and she's an amazing person. It's been a while, so I'm going to call her August Gisdor, because I think she was here really last year. It's been quite a while, but of course, she'll be joining us today to talk about something very interesting. What are we talking about today? We are talking about, are women truly forgiving? Like, do we know how to really forgive? Or are we just pile it up, we'll keep it down, and the day we're about to explode, we'll explode and give it to your heart. But anyways, I have that enough. And before that, let's quickly go for a tip. And this tip is to help our intuitions. You know, we women were blessed with this intuition, and that alone helps us to grow. It helps us get better. And sometimes people say the worst gift a woman would have is our intuitions, because a woman will just stay where she is and she'll just have this inkling that something is going wrong somewhere, and she wants everything to just stop. But anyways, you know, what we'll do is we'll talk about that and know if our intuitions are always right at the same time, and if we should really work on our intuitions, if we should keep assuming, or rather we should ask. But anyways, let's quickly go for the tip of intuition, and we'll be right back to the studio to continue with our amiable, beautiful guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Yes, it's good to be here again. And yes, that's how to strengthen your intuition as a woman. And of course, we have our guest already ready to join the program. She'll be joining us via Zoom. Of course, her name is Eniola Adeyemi. She is a writer. She's an intercessor. Of course, she's a coach, a speaker, a community health practitioner. She's also the convener of Champion Women, and she is a woman empowerment advocate. It's good to have you, Eniola. Good morning, Eniola. Do we have a Zoom guest ready? Oh, okay. We don't have a Zoom guest ready. So let's quickly go for another tip. And this one is how a safety tip for female drivers. You know, why I'm putting this is because we have a lot of male drivers. And I had a very funny experience with a female driver who, you know, naturally there's this thing about drivers, Uber drivers or taxi drivers. There's an amount on your app, but obviously when you make a call or they call you, they tell you, you have to add some money because the money is too small, fuel price, the distance and all of that. Be like, but you're using the app. Now, of course, a man will try to cajole you and all of that, but a woman will prove her right. And even after agreeing with a certain amount, when she came to where I was to take the Uber to my destination, she obviously said, oh, she didn't know that was where I was going to. I have to add more money. I was like, I don't understand. How would I already added, I should add again. She was like, she was speaking as though she was entitled to that amount, which I already did well by adding a little bit. Well, back and forth, you know, they'll ask you to cancel the ride since you can go. Like, no, that gives me a bad record. You cancel because you are, you know, not going through. And this woman decided to pack at that spot for over how many minutes? I just went back and canceled my trip, and she was there for a very long time. I just knew something was wrong somewhere, probably from her house, her home, siblings, a job. I don't know, but something was wrong. So it's a lot of things. So this is just for a woman to be safe while you're driving. You could be doing it as a service to people, and you could just be a driver that drives yourself to work or wherever you want to go to. This is how to keep yourself safe as a female. So let's quickly go for that tip, and we'll be right back to continue the program with Eniola Adeyemi. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. Do we have Eniola Adeyemi now? Let's just bring her on the screen.
Good morning. This one.
Hi, good morning, Eniola.
Good
Thank you so
morning.
much for joining me. How are you feeling this morning?
Yeah, I'm feeling so great and excited.
Did it rain over there? Because it rained cat and dog in my area.
I was actually praying I told you I have my way out of the office to get home. It actually rained this morning, but thank God I'm here.
Uh, yeah, thank God you're here. And I was very scared because, like, okay, we're doing Zoom. You know, network is never our friend when it rains. So, but hopefully,
I can
I'm
get.
grateful that this is working right now. So, yes, you know, when I told you the topic we'll be talking about, I said, are women truly forgiving? You smiled. You're like, wow, because that's definitely an interesting topic. So I'm just going to ask
Yeah.
generally, what do you think? Do you think women are actually truly forgiving? Like when a woman tells you, maybe your husband or your spouse offends you and you know, you're apologizing and you're saying, I'm sorry. Okay, he's saying, I'm sorry to you. And the woman is like, I've heard you. It's fine. It's fine. Please forgive me. No, I've forgiven you. It's fine. It's okay. Do you think truly when a woman says that she has forgiven you and she has, I'm laughing because, okay, let me hear your response first before I say what is in my mind. Okay, please go on.
Honestly, women are actually very forgiving. The way women are wired, I'm not sure there's any woman who has the capacity to bear a burden for too long. Because unforgiveness is just a huge burden to carry about. For some women, it can be very difficult, but I can say to a large extent that there is no woman who does not truly forgive. The challenge is that what is the posture of the offender? What is the posture of the offender? And I mean, let's say my husband offends me and he is coming from the place of sincere remorseful that is actually know that this thing I did is wrong and my wife or my friend is angry about this thing. If every woman sense genuineness from their offender, forgiveness is something that comes naturally from every woman. All right, listen. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so forgiveness come naturally from every woman. The challenge is a lot of people don't own up to what they did. And the truth is, I can't forgive you if you are still claiming that, or if you are not accepting, or you are not taking responsibility for what you've done. And I think that is where unforgiveness breeds longer. That's where unforgiveness linger. Because when the person, the offender now, is not remorseful and is not even acknowledging what he or she has done. To a large extent, I tell people, if the offender is not acknowledging it, I choose to forgive because of my own mental health.
Because what came to my head when I asked that question is most times we just feel like, let me just, like when okay, let me take myself for example. When I say, no, it's okay, it's fine, trust me, is not fine. Because I feel like you're probably going to do it again. So the only time, it's not like I'm not forgiving you, but the only time I'm really going to believe is fine is when such a situation happens and you don't do what you did previously. You understand, that got me angry or got me worked up. Now at that point, I truly believe that you were sorry for what you did the previous time, and that's why you're not doing it again this time. So yes, a woman forgives, of course. Trust me, if she loves you, she cares for you, she'll forgive. And like you said, a woman is someone that has a forgiving spirit. It's very easy for them to forgive because they don't know how to carry so much burden, emotional burden. Let me use that word, because when you don't forgive people, it's more like you're emotionally destroying yourself because you tend not to be happy. Sometimes some people cannot even really focus. If it's someone very dear to their heart, they can't really focus on some other things, which are true. But I want to ask now, for men now, because a lot of men believe that women take whatever pain, whatever secrets they have, they take it to the grave. And sometimes a woman, you do something to a woman, she'll tell you it's fine. And maybe later on, 7 years later, because someone has even shared on this show, let me just give the example of what the person said. And now someone offended her, someone did something bad to her in a relationship, hurt her so much, so bad, that it was difficult for her to love again. So she was really trying to love, it wasn't working. So years went into years, and eventually she just had to tell herself, I need to settle down. I don't need to, I don't need to keep, this burden of hatred against men, or not finding a reason to love a man. So eventually she met someone who was, kind enough, was still close to, what she think, okay, I will eventually love this man. But she had this thing in her that I am going to show this man shaggy. And I mean, it's almost 7 years. Yeah, this is 7 years down the line after getting married. Now, this person said the woman did the exact same thing she said she was going to do. It was more like what that man did to her. She got married to her husband that loved her so much, and she paid that man the revenge. Do you understand? Now, after paying that man that revenge, she confessed, obviously, went for therapy. And at this point, the man is like, I'm not even the one that offended you, but look at what you did. But eventually she lost the marriage, obviously, because of the revenge. Now, that's what I'm saying. Are women truly forgiving? Now, there are so many things that I feel like it's easy for a woman to forgive. But a woman that cries so much, maybe invested, the heartbreak, how can one truly forgive us? I don't know. I don't want to put it as a gender thing. How can a woman truly forgive? If a woman wants to learn how to forgive and be forgiving,
forgiving. Okay.
We are very emotional.
Thank you for this question. I think from this narrative, there's two things that are combined here. There's a place of forgiveness and a place of healing. You can actually forgive a person and you are not healed from your wound. You are not healed from the hurt. And if you are not healed, it's like going about, you are just like a wounded lion looking for every opportunity to devour anything that looks like what hurt her. Now, if you truly forgive, forgiveness can come faster, but healing takes a process, and healing takes a bigger responsibility on your side. And this, if you forgive and you are not healed, you will still carry the burden about, and that kills faster. It breeds resentment, and it is that resentment that leads to anger and bitterness. In the scenario that you cited, one thing that must have happened to this woman is she forgave, but she did not let go. There are two things: or she let go, she did not forgive. And the truth is this: the longer this thing stays with you, it's like a poison. It kills faster. Now, what she should have enjoyed after a while, she destroyed it because she still wants a fresh wound from her previous relationship into a new one. And this is one thing I said, for a large percentage of women, you can actually forgive. But we have a lot of women who does not have the capacity to go through the process of healing. If you are not healed, when you come into a new relationship, you are coming with that wound. And the person you are in relationship with is not aware of the wound you are carrying, that maybe he cannot bring his own expertise or his own compassionate spirit to help him heal up. This wound will stay longer, and it should be affecting every other thing you do. Now, forgiveness and refusing to heal, it is to your own pain and it is to your own detriment. So the truth is this: whoever offends you, you say it is fine, and inside of you, you know it is not fine. It is not that person's responsibility. It is you that you are draining yourself emotionally, psychologically. And the more you get drained, the more you exhaust your strength. And the more your strength leaves you, the more life is leaving you. Okay? So it is very important that if after you are forgiving, you work on your healing process and get healed. And I say this a lot of time to every young persons around me. Don't go into a new relationship if you are not healed from the previous relationship. Because you are going to cause a lot of trauma for yourself, and you are going to cause a lot of trouble for somebody who is not part of your problem. Do you get me, Blozo?
Thank you so much for that one. Anyways, you made a valid point, and I actually like that. But another thing is, okay, when a woman actually forgives you, forgives whatever you have done, is it very possible that if you repeat that same thing, it could be a trigger? And once you trigger her, it means that she might not be able to trust you anymore. And it might be difficult for her to ever forgive you again. Is that very possible? I don't even think
This is very,
a woman, Seb. I think it's about everybody.
this is not, it's not a gender. If you are saying woman, you are becoming biased. It's not a gender thing now. It is on the both sides. If you offend me and I seek your forgiveness and you offer me forgiveness, it speaks a lot about what you have for me in the first place, that you genuinely love me, and that's why you forgive me. And so if I genuinely love you in return, I do all my best to get that issue from happening. However, life is full of uncertainties. We slide and we don't know when we do. But me, you even not offend that person. The truth about life is this. Scar, Yoruba will say, Oju apa kò lè dàbí ojú ara. The moment there is a resemblance of what you did previously, it's going to trigger something. Either that thing is right or it is wrong. Now, at this point, it is your responsibility never to allow where you have left, because the past forgiveness is in your past. Whatever that introduces you back to your path does not want your attention. So you walk away. So if it's happening between spouse, you now sit down and talk about this thing. That this thing you are doing is repeating itself so often that I can bear. I think we need to work on this. Why do you find it easy doing the same thing that you know it hurts me? So for spouse, you will always give room for discussion. For friends, you will always give room for communication. But this is the ideal thing I tell people. Even when you forgive people, build a boundary, no matter who they are. Even when you forgive people, build boundary. Ensure that there is no room for this person to repeat exactly what he did before. Will that person offend you again? Yes, but maybe not on the same issue. Maybe not on the same scenario. Maybe not on the same level. Because the truth is this, we will keep offending ourselves as long as we stay together, as long as we are friends, as long as we are a community. We will keep finding fault in one another. But what we do is what matters the most.
What matters the most, because if you trigger, then there's something, that could actually go wrong. Now, you said something very important. You said, in a place of forgiving and for you to truly forgive, there has to be a healing first. And I think in this part, we were talking about the heartbreak, not just maybe you said something wrong to me or something. Now it's about the heartbreak. Now there's a healing first after the forgiveness, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now for a woman, a lot of women have tried to heal. And in the process of healing, we humans, it might not even be the same person. To be honest, you've healed, you've been better, and you meet somebody else rather. Meeting the other person you're meeting, the person is probably doing some certain things to trigger you. Again, you leave the person, you let the person go. You meet another person, then somebody else is trying to trigger you again, because these are human beings that probably don't even know about your previous story. And trust me, you can't just meet someone and for the first time you're meeting the person, or maybe in 1 month, you're telling the person the whole story about your life and how one person broke up with you. That's not a good deal. So in the spacing of this time, when you're still having probably the butterflies and all of that, there could be a trigger from this person. Now you're like, okay, this person's triggering me, and you let go. You meet another person, in 2 months, person tries to trigger you again by maybe one thing. After that, you let go. You keep trying to, and you find out it's as though this person's you're meeting keep triggering, and it's not like it's their fault. It's because they don't know your story, and probably they don't know what to do to avoid such triggers. Does not mean they're a bad person, does not mean that you guys might not even have worked out. Now at this point, what would you advise a woman to do? Because I feel like at that point, now that those triggers, those things that looks as though they might trigger you or will trigger you, could actually bring back those memories. It could be like you're scratching a wound surface, a scar, to make it not heal again, or to look like it's a fresh wound. Now at this point, do you think it will be easy for her to really heal up, or would you think she would need to really forgive again and, I don't know, re-heal? It's like it's very deep. It's like there's, I don't know, it's just something like in loop if you're not careful. So it means that I don't know, maybe there's something special a woman needs to do for herself at this point if she really needs to take a step forward.
Exactly. There is so much a woman, there is so much that a woman needs to do for herself. Because when you look at the reaction or the response of people to you, maybe you are just a loving woman who give out all of yourself, and what you get in return is heartbreak, is hurt, is betrayal, backbite, and all of that. One of the things you need to follow, it happens on the first occasion, it happens on the second occasion, and it happens on the third occasion. It is no longer the third party responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is your fault. Either you are a woman or you are a man. Because it's not just women that suffer heartbreak. Men suffer more bitter heartbreak, I tell you. Now, most of the time, we don't learn, or we don't pick up, or we don't apply our lessons. Because what happens to me on the first occasion is not permitted to happen on the second occasion. But peradventure it did happen. I must be able to check the lessons. What happens in the first one that warrants this heartbreak? What happened in the second one? Is there correlation? Is there something I'm not doing right? That, because the truth is this, likes attract likes. If there is something that is causing people to break your heart, then you need to sit back and do a self-reflection. Who am I? What am I doing that is not right? What am I doing that repels people? What am I doing that makes people hurt me all the time? Because if it is the same odds, then definitely there is something that is wrong with the offended now. Not the offender, with you as a person that is being offended. So you need to first check, okay, your first lesson, did you apply it? Because the reason for first mistake is to learn how something did not work. When you fail on first occasion, your failure is not your dead hand. It's a learning curve. It tells you there is something you didn't get right. So that thing that you did not get right, you pick it up. And when you engage in another relationship, the first thing you need to do, there's what we call courtship itinerary. A lot of young people don't do that. Now, do you talk about your deal breakers? Do you talk about your things that can hurt your emotions? Things that can make you walk away without looking back? You talk about it. So the person that is coming into your life, don't idea of what to relate with you. You forget that this person is coming from another background. So it is important that before you go into another relationship, the things you learned in your previous relationship, there is a way you introduce it. Okay, when things like this happen, what do you do to your babe? When things like this happen, what do you do to your guy as a man? You need to ask questions. And you tell the person what your reaction could be. There is what we call deal breaker. Talk about your deal breaker so that the person you want to journey with is already aware that if I trespass or if I do this, this is what this person becomes. That is number one. Secondly, there is what we call fear of unknown. Because you have been traumatized previously in your past relationship, and there is this trauma that you are carrying about, even though you have been healed. But there is this fear, I don't want to be hurt again. I don't want to experience heartbreak again. You begin to do things that will eventually expose you to that danger. Like what Job said, that which I greatly fear has fallen upon me. We all have our fears, but we cannot learn them. We cannot learn our faith because the of your actions will tailor towards your faith. And before you know what happens, it will catch up with you. So I tell ladies, even not just ladies, everyone around me, you are young, you are old, you are in a relationship, you are having to go. One of the first things I want you to understand and I want you to put at heart is that offense will come. But how do I deal with this offense? Imagine the worst this person can do before it happens, and strategize your coping mechanism. That if this person do these things to me, this is how I'm going to feel. but I don't want this thing to break my relationship. I don't want this thing to break my life. This is what I would do. So you put your solution in place even before it happens. And so when it happens, it just looks like a normal thing. Do you understand? So a lot of people need to grow up to this level where you understand that people will offend you. And you must deal with people as individual. Deal with people as individual. The person you're in a relationship with is not the same person you were in a relationship with. They are two different persons. They were two different persons. And if you experience heartbreak the first time, you experience heartbreak the second time. I plead with you to take your time. Seek therapy. Ensure you are truly healed. A lot of people cover up. They do cover up. They are not healed. They just use activities to engage themselves. And over a time, they didn't deal with the issue. They use activities to cover up. They get themselves engaged so that they don't think about what has happened to them. So what they thought is a process. They didn't engage in it. What they do is they cover up. They leave the wound unattended to. And because they feel there is a lot of breach on that wound and they are not seeing it again, they feel they are okay to go into another relationship. The moment they go into another relationship, they withdraw from the previous activities that has helped them to cover that emotions. Now the emotion is coming back. It's coming back and it's going to come to the surface. And the moment it gets to the surface, the new person becomes a victim. Even when that person did not do anything that will want you to be hurt, you are hurt. You know why? Your wound is still as fresh as 7 years ago.
Wow. So there's a lot of things going on. Just to even wrap up this section because of our time, let's talk about yes, we already answered that question that women are truly forgiving. Now I want aside from the fact that sometimes a lot of women, I feel like the reasons why some women do not really forgive is because they are taken for granted. That's one of the things, because I believe, like you said, a woman is full of forgiveness. A woman is more like a mother even before she becomes one. She takes care of people's needs. She attends to people. There's this gift, I don't know, women just have. Do you understand? So now, looking at that part of for our first tip, we talked about intuition. Right. Now, most women tend to have this inkling when something is wrong in a relationship, or even with their children. They could even be at work and there's this thing that comes to their mind like something is wrong. And even when it's in a relationship, everything is going well, you're laughing with her, and you just find out that her mood changes because something just pops up, not just in her mind. She's not idle. Something just pops up and like, something is wrong somewhere. It's like this man is doing something wrong. And believe you me, I don't know if I'm going to say 100% of the time or 50% of the time, when a woman decides to find out, make her investigations, it's actually true that the man is about to do something very nasty that would hurt her and probably hurt with the relationship they have. So I just want to know, do you think I just know this intuition is one of God's given talents, but men will say that's the evil talent every woman have. Because I think for a man to even say that, it means that for every time his woman, his wife notices something, feels something, they are always right. And they don't like it when women are so right about things that they know they have not told them or they should not even find out. So in this scenario now, if I'm to ask you, do you think like we're 100% right with our intuitions? Or do you think we're 50% right? And do you also think that we should always work on the intuitions that we have? Maybe that would help us save a lot of damage in the future.
Wow, interesting. You see, this issue of intuition, okay, some of us call it intuition, some of us call it discernment. Now, the way women are wired, nobody can explain it. Man cannot explain. You have no idea of what was deposited in this creature called woman. You have no clue about it. Imagine a creature that was given to you when you were asleep, And you just wake up to see her, you say, ah, she can be called woman. You have no idea what was deposited in her. And so to comprehend the things she do is going to really traumatize you. The best advice or the best counsel I give to men is, see, when your babe, your woman is telling you something or is asking you something you have not told her, just open up. Just open up. Every woman loves transparency. Every woman loves to hear the truth. But the challenge, here is the challenge I have with my fellow gender. A lot of us don't have the knowledge to accept privileged information. If you hear the truth, there are some truths blows on. If you hear them about your spouse, you will kill yourself even before death arrives. Some of us don't have that privilege. We don't have that capacity to handle. We don't have such knowledge to handle those truths that we really want to hear. We want to hear the truth. But can you handle the truth if you truly hear them? And I think that is a case for another time. Can we really handle the truth? How do you be about the mind? He wishes to tell you the truth, but he knows that if he tells you the truth, the nagging inside of you, the love and the bear in you is going to come. And so he prefers to keep it. And I tell people, most of the things that you discovered as a woman is not as if your spouse don't really intend to tell you. But some of them know that you don't have a capacity to handle it. So I tell every woman, build emotional strength. Everything should not be breaking you. Everything should not be breaking you. That's number one. Secondly, when a woman think about something, I tell you, before that thought pop up on her mind or in her mind, that thing has been concluded. Thoughts don't just pop up. It is either that thing is about to happen or that thing has happened. She herself gets to that point to think about it. She can't explain. She will just tell you, sweetheart, I'm sensing this thing. Can you tell me about this thing? If you know it is true, tell her what it is. If it is not true, tell her, this thing has not happened though. Since you have seen it, can we do something about it so that it doesn't happen? But some men, because they don't want their ego to be bruised, or because they feel they have been caught, but they are not caught red-handed, they want to manipulate your thoughts, manipulate your imaginations, manipulate your intellect, rather. They will manipulate everything to make you look full of that thing that you have conceived. They forget that what a woman see when sitting down. Man, if you climb up, your woman is like your aged people. Whatever your wife says to you or whatever your babe says to you, just pay attention to it. They are not evil. There is this saying on social media that you hear that if your wife have not started behaving like a witch, if she has not started telling you that this friend you are working with, hey, I want to see you with this person, if she has not started telling you, you are yet to be on the same page. So men, celebrate your women intuition. Their intuition is not to harm you, but to celebrate you and keep you safe.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. I'm having so much laugh right here because you're saying a fact, and most of my team are men. They really are not agreeing with you. But trust me, it's just a bitter truth that they do not. You know, when you're saying men, you have to, oh, trust me, I'm just laughing like, which man wants to drop his ego and agree that he has been caught? And no, trust me, they will try to manipulate that intuition or that idea that you already have in your head. But you said something very valid. You said, if you could be sleeping and they created a woman off of you, my darling, there's no way you can understand a woman. You can't even know the way, because even we ourselves, we are learning about ourselves.
Don't understand it.
Did I just do this? I never knew I could do this. Trust me, some people don't even know they could have kids and at the same time be a career woman. Somebody did it and others follow through, and some people are even doing better. So it's a thing that we're discovering ourselves every day. So this is me saying to women, some truth. If you know you can handle the truth, sometimes just avoid it, let it be, let it rest.
Just avoid
Find
it.
another
Just
way.
avoid it.
Since you already have an inkling of the truth, find another way to make it stop. If the truth is hurting you or hurting your marriage or relationship or your friendship, whatever it is, whatever ship you're in, just stop it. But if you know you can handle the truth, please, men, try to be out with the truth. I think it helps. I don't know why this ego of a thing. Well, anyway, that's the way a man is, always built up that way. But anyways, we have to call the show to the end because our time is already up. It's been an amazing one with you, and you're, oh my word, I so enjoyed this topic from beginning to the end, even though I have a lot of more questions to ask, but our time is up. Thank you so much, Eniola, for being on the show. It's been an amazing one with you. I hope you enjoyed the program.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me. I so much appreciate Blossom. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Yes, and that's it from Eniola Adeyemi. She did fantastically well. Well, this is just to say women are forgiven, and likewise most humans. You just have to tap into that energy of forgiveness and try to avoid anything that will cause you a trigger. This is not just about women, it's also about men. If you have missed this episode, please go back to our Facebook and our YouTube at the Galaxy TV News and watch it all over again. I'll be seeing you pretty soon on The Buzz, where we'll talk about the state and the affairs of the country right after news on the hour. I'll see you again pretty soon. Have a beautiful and a wonderful day for yourself. Bye for now.